What up, y'all? So look, we don't always talk high school sports on the channel, but this is a great topic, obviously, by Cam Newton, man. Y'all go check out the vid. So he said, just imagine if Georgia was as big as California, what that would look like. He reacted to Max Prep's ranking 16 top 100 football programs here from Georgia. I basically was talking about ping pong, tennis, right? Basketball, cross country, track. You're going to come to Georgia. Now, in terms of a pure athlete, y'all, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to Florida, bro. Florida produces the best pure athletes. I'm talking about either side of the ball, dynamic, speed, fast. A pure athlete, I'm going to Florida. But in terms of what Georgia has done, you have to put Georgia in, and you have to recognize how good of a state this is, right? It's competitive as hell. Look at the five-star process we got just this year in this class, right? Xavier Griffin, Jordan Edmonds, Tyler Atkinson, and so many more, right? But it ain't just that. You can go get any crop or any position really from Georgia. And that's basically what Cam Newton's alluding to here. You can go get a quarterback, right? Usually Georgia produces great quarterbacks. Now this class of 26, probably not as skilled as we've seen in years past or has the same accolades, but you can go get your quarterback here in Georgia. The 27 class here is crazy. Kareem Hughley, right? You look at Jace Johnson, Teddy Gerard, and so many more. 2027 class is loaded. And then when you look from top to bottom of the programs, right? Last year, Milton won a national championship. You know what I'm saying? If they was having how they had in years past, where they could play on ESPN or they could play that extra game, who's to say Milton would have wouldn't have won last year, right? But with everything different now, kids leaving in December to go off to school, it's much different. Now, going obviously running back. Look at the running back class. It's always producing, right? Jay Lamar is obviously a headliner for this year's class. 27, you got Braden Tyson. You obviously got Andrew Beard. You look at wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Now, wide receiver, you can really go anywhere, go get them. But Georgia's had dogs for the longest, right? And guys that can produce at a high-end level. You look at this year's class in Georgia, 2025. You obviously look at Sam Turner. You obviously look at Travis Smith Jr. And so many more. C.J. Wiley, Ethan Barbour, who will probably play tight end / receiver. I mean, Georgia's always loaded. Any position. Defensive line is like, yo, you're going to get somebody on the defensive line that's elite when you look at Georgia. Offensive line, like Cam said in the video, you'll probably go Midwest, but go look at what Georgia's been producing that offensive line, right? You go look at like a Tate Ratliff. You go look at Amarius Mims, right? These guys are making it to the league, and they're producing, and Mims is already a starting right tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals, my favorite team, in his second season. So it's like any position you look at, DB, corner, look at, obviously, Avion Terrell, who's likely going to be a draft pick this next year, Khalil Barnes and how elite and good he is, right? You look at, obviously, A.J. Terrell for the Falcons, went to Westlake. Like, any position you look at, Georgia's doing it. Look at one of the best safeties in the game right now in the NFL. Where did he come from? For Baltimore Ravens. Kyle Hamilton, Marist, Georgia. So, yeah, y'all, I 100% agree with Cam, like, in terms of just imagine, like, per capita, if it had California was as big of a state, yeah, Georgia would be going crazy because they're always in the top. When you look at how many 5 stars or how many 4 stars or who has the most ones, committed to D1 programs, it's usually either California, obviously Georgia. You got to throw Texas in there as well, and then Florida. Either of those 4, but Georgia has definitely cemented itself as one of the top states in terms of producing talent, in terms of having the top programs, and those top programs being to go up against some of the best. A few years ago, I know they lost in the game, but Collins Hill obviously going up against and playing the team from Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? That happens so often, and that's why we want more interstate battles, right? That's why we want to see Hoover playing the team here from Georgia. That's why we want to see Carrollton playing, obviously, Parker. Last year, that game went crazy. Last year, Grayson and Thompson, they're going to play again this year. That game went down to the wire. That's why we want to see the best of the best go up against each other. And to add on to Cam's point, I would love to see more, obviously, interstate battles, right? I just would. Let's see a team from California come down here to Georgia to play them. Let's see a home-and-home series with teams from Texas, right? Creekside's another team that does that really well here in Georgia, playing DeSoto, right? Playing teams, obviously in Missouri like Christian Brothers, like whoever it may be. These teams go out and play. So I want to obviously give them credit there. But, yeah, let's see more interstate matchups, and let's broadcast them on some of the major networks, the ESPNs or whoever's broadcasting high school football. Let's see it, and the best of the best go. Let's even do a tournament, right? The best teams across the nation, top 10 teams, the top 2, get a bye. The other ones go to work in a 10-team bracket. Obviously based on just different analysts from across the country, ESPN included, Max Preps included, On3 included, Rivals included, and let those teams go to work, after the season potentially. Just a hypothetical. I think it would be pretty cool. But what y'all think about Cam Newton quote? Do you agree it's the best athletes coming through Georgia? Let me know.